The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube, with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, The Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world #1 Team Homan takes on world #1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
I have an idea.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as World No. 1 Team Homan takes on World No. 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube, with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, The Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
I have an idea.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
It's a brisk, damp day in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. But today we have the second day of the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Jason Chang, and we have this second day action between Riku Yanagisawa of Japan and Libbus of Edmonton. And Jay, we should have a good one today.
Well, yeah, Ohio gozaimasu, Dave-san. And for those of us, you joining in Japan, konbanwa to everyone. Yeah, great looking matchup here. Riku Yanagisawa, number 28 in the world. Jake Libbus, a great young team, 76 in the world, but playing a lot of the spiels and doing quite well. So I think we're going to have a pretty interesting match here.
Arigato gozaimasu. And we have Yanagisawa with the hammer here, throwing the redstones in the first end.
Yeah, they did the draw to the button, and Team Yanagisawa doing a little bit better job there. So you mentioned second day of action, so important day. Most of these teams will play a couple of games today. And they play in pools, right, Dave?
That's correct. We have three pools of 6 teams, so 18 teams total entered in this event. And Team Libbus got the win yesterday over Team Samson, and it was a loss for Yanagisawa last evening.
Yeah, and let's see, they're in a pool with Nick Edin, Jaden King, James Balance, Ethan Sampson. And the top 8 teams across the 3 pools will make the championship round. You can see that is Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi in the house calling the game now for this team. the center guard went up. The Japanese team did play the corner, but right now the play is towards the center of the rings. I think they're trying to get another stone in there, try to freeze on top of that yellow stone.
On the way down from Yamamoto.
Or maybe they're trying to even move it out and roll behind the corner. That's what they're trying to do.
And they certainly did. And they live one too.
Yeah, good shot. They were trying to hold that line just a little bit more to see if they can get a bit more finish around the corner. But the good news about this shot is they are 1-2. If they were completely around the corner, they probably would be sitting 1-3. So
I'd like to thank all of you joining us here on Curling Stadium today. We have all the games running from every sheet all weekend long with 2 feature games per draw. So you can catch up on all the actions and always get all the scores all the time at curlingzone.com. If you haven't yet, smash that like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well so you know when all your favorite teams are playing. You can go on to the Curling Zone YouTube channel, and we have playlists for all your favorite teams.
they're trying to play a hidden roll here, Team Libbus. They didn't get the roll, so opportunity for the Japanese team. That should be Yamamoto's second stone to hit and stick around. Rolls a little too far.
Just a touch too far, so opportunity's going to swing back now. Electing for the hit and roll here. Always had the option to play a freeze tap as well.
Yeah, the freeze would have been a good option, especially if you were trying to maybe even steal this end. That would have been a good spot for a freeze, but hit and roll, try to get the force out of this situation. You do need to stick around, though, right? The Japanese stone is hanging around. They are sitting first and third right now, so the 2 is definitely possible if you don't separate these rocks correctly.
Here's Nate Molberg on the dig attempt. Past the guard, no problem. It's going to get it. Sticks around, and they lie too.
Yep, nice shot here. I think they'll just maybe hit and roll back. That double looks a little bit too steep to take on right now. You can see Riku Yanagisawa going down to hold the broom now as Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, the third stone thrower, comes down the ice. They played a few years, this combination with Riku holding the broom, skipping and throwing the last stone, but it seems like they've gone to this combination now where Tsuyoshi is holding the broom but throwing the third stones.
We did see Yamaguchi having a lot of conversations with Yanagisawa yesterday, and I guess maybe they're just trying something out and formalizing it here. Another chance to tune up before Mizcho.
Yeah, and Yamaguchi's got a lot of experience, especially in international play. He played many, many years on the Japanese national team with Yusuke Morozumi, been to the Olympics. So that's the type of experience that Yanagisawa doesn't have as much of. So I think drawing on Yamaguchi's experience is quite wise.
That one does not roll to stay in shot position. So Libbus will have the chance to draw underneath the cover here and lie 2.
Yeah, that just rolled a couple of feet too far. Wanted to sit right in front of that yellow stone. And if not that, just be shot stone. But now Team Libbus, they can basically put this in as good of a spot they can behind the guard, leave no double. You got the force on. You might even be able to generate a steal out of this situation if things go really well. Although that center line guard or that off center guard is quite high, so it's pretty tough, I think, to steal still in this situation. But definitely the force is on. But you got to be careful here, Dave. You got to make sure this rock is partially covered, at least partially covered, so there's no double.
Absolutely. And I was taking a look at the broom placement. Watched 2 games in this sheet yesterday, and just about 4 feet of ice on this turn was taken. The other turn, coming for the right-hander, would be the out-turn side, was running decidedly straighter, so be interested to see how that goes in the early going today.
They have a piece buried, but can they get to the inside and make the double here?
I think it's certainly worth taking on. You'll be line 3 if you do it.
Yeah, and that was what they couldn't do, was not get this at least partially buried. It looks like it's just edge to edge right now. And with that guard being so high, soft weight, you can definitely get across the face. Try to get the double. You don't need a lot of weight. You don't really need to move that back yellow very far to be 1, 2, 3.
Right. It doesn't have to be completely killed in this situation.
If you make this, you'll also be buried behind the corner.
Trying to work it over just a touch.
Looks pretty close.
Now hold it straight. Looks pretty close. You're going to get the one, run it back, and just over the top. And they lied just the one.
Yeah, that was, the rock ran quite a bit different than the draw that Team Libbus just threw. The draw ran quite straight. And that one had a lot of finish at the end with more weight. So wonder if it was just because it could be because if you cross the center, maybe you find some extra curl. I'm not sure. But that rock definitely had a bit more finish than I expected. It looked pretty good most of the way down. They were actually carving it for a while.
Yeah, and end up overcooking it there some. So could definitely make these stones fly here. 2 for sure. Really all you have to do is make sure you lie 2 after this stone.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
No need to get too cute.
Either make that nose double, or if you hit it on the inside, try to get a roll behind the center. I think if you jam it on the stone that is in the 8 o'clock position, or the 7 to 8 o'clock position, you should still be sitting 1-2.
This will be the first stone for Jacob Libbus. And the team from Edmonton. Just a heavy clean here.
Yeah, very well controlled.
Get the one, tap the other one over. And they do lie 1 and 2 with a catcher in the way.
Really nice shot. It is behind the guard, but as we were saying, that guard is pretty high, so there should be enough room there to easily push that out with a soft weight hit. And you can sit behind the guard as well, and creating a bit of a wall at the back. So if you can hit and stick, stay behind the guard, Team Libbus will have to be pretty careful on their last rock. Because they'll probably jam, and then you want to make sure you don't jam and leave a shooter that can be hit and stuck around for that second point. So, but this is a critical shot here. If you're going to try to generate 2, you got to make this one.
So here's Yanagisawa with his first rock of the game. Not really doing too much now, trying to carve it over just a touch. Gonna come on down. Contact. Will you clear the guards? No, you jam. You lie shot, but Jacob Libbus is 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, it was most likely going to jam. Really, they wanted to get this rock behind the corner. If they got it around the corner, it would have been very difficult to completely remove it. Now I think they can just pick it out and sit 2 if they just pick it cleanly and roll out. I think they're going to try to stick the shooter. Got to be careful if you're trying to stick the shooter.
I think you need to do that because it does look like that if you lose the shooter, Yanagisawa is going to have a down weight double for 2.
Yeah, you might be able to throw that kind of a board weight double, the outturn side or that counterclockwise side. And there's a couple ways you can hit it. You can also hit this, and I kind of like rolling behind the guard. They were motioning for the hit and roll sideways, I think, but I think now they're going for the hit and roll behind the center guard. Just cross the face a little bit.
Final stone for Libbus in the first. They picked this one up. Just fine adjustments. Gonna get the hit. Does it roll a skosh too much, Jay?
Yeah, I think they were playing it fairly safe, trying to make sure that they got enough curl to push the red one cleanly through. They sit 3. I don't know
It's there.
The triple might be there.
Triple is there. I just don't know if you want to take it on.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is hit it slightly high, have it jam, lose your shooter, and then all of a sudden you're giving up 2.
That would be a poor outcome.
Based on the ice they're taking, looks like they're throwing a softer weight hit. So I think they're just going to play it safe and play the nose hit for 1.
Absolutely. And this is the side and really the particular line that ran extremely straight last night. Yanagisawa, final stone of the first end. Yamamoto trying to walk it over. Gonna make the hit and stick. No problem. Single point for Yanagisawa. They get 1. Libbus will have the hammer when we come back. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Hi, I'm Jane. And I'm Rick, and Jane and I are the owners of Sprague Foods Limited here in Belleville, Ontario, in the Bay of Quinte area. We're a food processing facility, and we can a whole range of products, including soups and sauces and rice pudding and beans.
And welcome back to the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout here from the Swift Current Curling Club. Thank you so much for joining us. And for our friends in Japan, Ohio, we had a single point scored by Riku Yanagisawa. Our first look at hammer for Jacob Libbus. And Jason, what do you know about this Libbus team?
Well, I don't know a ton about this Libbus team. All I know is they've been on the tour. I don't know if it's the exact same lineup as the last few years, but Jake's been on the tour. They play quite a bit, and I think they've had some good results, or Jake's had some good results. He also plays mixed doubles, I believe, as well, and quite young. I know I think he might still be U25, or he just graduated out of U25 not too long ago. So I think this is a pretty good team out of Alberta, and they're up and coming for sure.
So you're saying there's a very high chance I'm going to yell at him in a crotchety voice to get off my lawn.
I think it is one of those teams to look out for going into that next quad. We're going to see some I think major turnover in some of the Canadian elite curling teams. I would expect a few retirements coming out of this quad, including some players out of Alberta. So it'll be an interesting time. Every start of a new quad, I think you get a reshuffling. We've seen a lot of shuffling already during this quad in the last couple of years, but going into a new quad, there'll be a lot of reshuffling, and new and younger teams will, I think, get a chance to demonstrate themselves and get into some of the bigger events as that shuffling occurs.
Absolutely. As the events that we've had an opportunity to broadcast earlier this season, and the Montana's Brier would prove it out that you see teams like Ryland Kleider and Sam Moybrook, who are both here at this event, really rising up and starting to make themselves be counted.
Yeah, you talk about Sam Moybrook, and I've known Sam for quite a few years now. I called the Ontario Junior Final when he was in it, and he lost that final on the last stone to another Sam Steep. But I was impressed back then. He was still developing, I think, and it takes a few years when you're in juniors and then getting into the early part of your men's career to really find kind of that next skier to compete with the boys or the big boys. And Sam Moybrook making it out of Ontario, never easy, beating Scott Howard in that final, and then of course doing quite a good job in his Brier debut.
No, definitely a impressive debut at the Brier for sure. So we have a bit of a cluster wing here.
And yeah, a few shots I think came up a bit short here. Some of those should have been in the house.
Interesting to see how they want to rearrange the deck chairs here. They just kill one of the center guards. Still an empty house.
But yellow stones out in front, blocking the way for Team Japan, who does not have the hammer. So lots of rocks they can run in. But the good news is the center is clogged. So if the Japanese team can get one buried and try to protect it until the end, could be a way to generate a steal.
They're looking to draw to the 4 foot right now, be the first one in. This one needs to go. It's out there in a fresh path.
Yeah, I think they went a little bit wider, the speed a little bit slower, especially when you have a bit of a practice and then that pre-game draw to the button. Most of those draws are going to finish on the pin, on the button, and so you're never going that far out in the play, and therefore it's a lot fresher. So do you have to take that into account?
Now I see Libbus looking for the tap up here.
Yeah, I don't mind this call. You could have just gone around everything if you thought there was enough curl. There's no easy raise on those red stones for Team Yamaguchi. So even if you just drew around everything and sat biting the side of the 4, that wouldn't be a bad shot either. Weight looks pretty good here.
That is a beautifully executed tap. It's going to come right to the top of the button. Very nice shot.
And now you got to open it up if you're Team Yanagisawa.
If you're just tuning in, it's been Yoshi Yamaguchi calling the game, throwing third. Yanagisawa still throwing fourth. Last night, they seemed to confer on almost every shot.
And Yanagisawa's been on the scene for a very long time. He's a many time Japanese men's champion. He's also been a Japanese mixed doubles champion as well. And they will be at the World Championships in this province in Moose Jaw coming
Absolutely.
up not too long from now.
And if you want to see that maybe a little different look at the game and everything benefits you as that run back is called and made very nicely, now's the time to do it in the tune-up events.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you can make the run back, and that's exactly what it's called, but you do leave all the guards there. The good news is now there is a red one that you can actually run in.
So it's how aggressive and how clustered does Jacob want this to be? And I think we're going to get the answer here shortly.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch the call.
I believe this is dropping the sword of Damocles on these stones. Or I'm completely off base.
Well, what I was thinking that they might try to do is try to promote this yellow guard in, but I think they're actually making a play off of the shot that Yamaguchi just played and maybe trying to push the other yellow stone in on the other side there. Nope, they are playing the rock that I thought. Hit that yellow guard, try to spill it in. They didn't quite get it to spill in there.
But now underneath all kinds of cover, Yamaguchi's going to draw right in, I would think.
Absolutely. I think they were hoping to kind of open up a draw to the button, but also push one of your yellow ones in so that you have a draw to the button if you ever needed it, and you had that guard pushed in to the rings and it would be behind cover. He did leave himself or open up that draw to the button, but you didn't push any rocks in the ring. So this gives, yeah, as you said, the Japanese team a chance to go around everything and sit behind those multiple guards. We're just talking about the World Championships, and there are a bunch of international teams here, and it's because I think the proximity to where the Worlds are being held here, Swift Current, and the Worlds in the same province, Moose Jaw. You have the Czech team here, skipped by Lukas Klima. Nikodine, of course, here as well.
Have the Dutch team.
Skipped by Wouter Goskins, is that correct?
That is correct.
Although I don't believe they are in the World Championship, but I think they have been in North America playing the last few weeks. Really good line here. Weight looks really good as well.
That is well executed, just past the guard to the top four.
Nice shot. I expect a double run back here, though.
Yes, and last week in Martinsville, it was won by Team USA, Team Dropkin, and they'll, of course, be in Moose Jaw as well.
Yeah, a very impressive victory by Team Dropkin on that last rock extra end against Dan Casper. Dan Casper played so well, though, that whole tournament. I think he'll be definitely one of the teams to watch in USA curling in the upcoming years. It'll be a very exciting Olympic trials for you guys as well.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, Danny Casper has been a thorn in the side for many of my friends for the last few years, and we see all that go bing, bang, boom. We have a bingo and a clear house.
But the center guard's still up there, and this is more attractive now for the Japanese team because it's blocking the button. So now if they make the draw here, they're going to be in the top of the button covering or in front of the pin, ideally. Try to take away the draw path.
Yep, it would be a long run back available, but
yeah, obviously Team Libbus, they were hoping that they would stick that run back. And I thought they might have tried to play a little bit less weight at it, just so that if you made contact, you had a better chance of sticking around. And since there were so many guards in play, lots of places where that shooter could have gone, or that runner, that second runner actually could have gone to stay around the guards. But they played it with quite a bit of weight just to make sure that they killed it.
And myself and Terry were talking last night about how really the weight control differentiates. It's like the next step a lot of the younger teams need to make.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think especially for junior boys team, I find that a lot of times when they're in their junior days and the early parts of their men's career, they're overthrowing the rocks. They're throwing hits with too much weight. They're throwing runbacks with too much weight, taking some of the sweepers out of it, having a hard time hitting and sticking or hitting and rolling to the right spot. And if you just bring that weight down, you have a little bit more control over the stone in terms of the roll. The sweepers can be used for carving as well as holding it straight a little bit better. And that makes you more effective. I know when I was playing against some of the top teams in Asia at the Pacific Asia Championships, 5-8 years ago, that's the biggest thing I noticed is our team was overthrowing the rocks with weight, and we were noticing the other teams are throwing a lot more hits with board weight, control weight, hack weight, trying to control that roll. And we observed why they were successful and started adopting some of those strategies. That draw just came a little bit deep for Yanagisawa on the back of the button. So opportunity here for Team Libbus to put one on the pin or on the top of the button. Probably want to get right to that red stone, actually. They'll be shot stone. I think they'll be covering the pin.
Yeah, I don't think there's room for another one on top of it, so.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking, right? If you're still trying to get two for Team Libbus, you need to get this right to the red one, or maybe even tap it back an inch to try to create a little bit more room for your next one if you got a chance to get another one in there to the side of the button, perhaps.
So Jacob Libbus, his squad on the big power clean here, and going to be past the guard. Now it's all about the weight control. Can you get right down to it and weld it right on? The answer is yes, indeed.
Yeah,
beautiful shot, great weight control.
Great shot, and that's from the overhead, as you can see. I think if you sit on top, you can be second shot, or if you get to the side of the button, you also can be second shot. So, here's Team Yanagisawa. They're going to try to take that away by just blocking the path. And Tsuyoshi, very smart, just motioning that you can just be short here and you'll block the path. You don't need to be right to the yellow stone. This is where knowing where you can leave the stone or what's the pro side makes some of the thinking a little bit easier, but also that's why some of the top teams are successful, is because they know where to pro side miss or where to leave the stones.
Final stone the second for Yanagisawa. Just trying to navigate this port and lay it on in there just in the 8 foot. He did precisely that.
There is that angle raise they're looking at. Might be the easiest way to get in there for the second point.
You ever hit it wrong, you're giving up a steal too.
Yeah, only if you throw it with weight, I think. So if you throw this...
Oh, we just had that conversation, Jason.
Yeah, so if you throw it with just hack weight, I don't really think there's any way you can give up two in this situation. Backline weight, hack weight. But if you throw it with, peel, for sure there's a chance you can just clean pick it off. So
I know that would be tempting for a lot of people at the club level to just chuck it. But you saw the broom placement. Looks like they were going to take about a foot of ice, which would indicate a downweight shot. Even a skosh more than a foot.
Yeah, you're just hitting about half the rock here to get the right angle. If you hit it a hair thin, you could rub it off the top red stone that was just played and scoosh it southward or towards the button. That may be a plan B. Obviously, the way they're playing it is right into the button or right into that yellow stone.
So with one in his pocket already, Jacob Libbus with the final stone, the second end. He's looking for the angle raise. Hit half a rock, push it towards the button, and get his deuce. On now to hold it. Do they have the angle right? It's working towards it. It's got to be close. And yes, you got your two. Fantastic shot by Jacob Libbus. It's one for sure. They're going to take another look at it. It is two indeed. Put two up for yellow. Yanagisawa will have the hammer trailing by one when we return.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club. It's the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. I'm Dave Schmel, and I'm joined by the Prince of Pebble, Jason Chang, and it was a big deuce for Jacob Libbus there in the second end.
No one's ever called me Prince, so thanks very much.
What do you think it was the key shot that led to them getting that deuce?
Well, really, the key shot was the miss by Yanagisawa's first stone. That draw that needed to be on the top of the button ended up being on the biting the back of the button, and that allowed Libbus to lay that freeze right on top, and then obviously a really nice raise to the side of the button for the second point. But that one deep draw was what caused the problem, and it was a tough shot for 2 even, but they were given a chance and they made it.
And ultimately, when you get to this level, you're never going to very rarely get full misses out of teams. It's a half shot or 3/4 shot is what you had to jump on.
It was pretty tough to protect everything. We were talking about that last draw by Yanagisawa could be short, and that takes away that draw side. It wouldn't have taken away that angle raise. If they came right to the face on the nose, I'm not sure. There may have still been space on the side of the button for that raise anyway. So the mistake was on that skip's first stone, or the fourth rock thrower's first stone.
And we see the team's getting into it here. Double center guards, a couple corner guards, and one on the 4-foot. So we are in for some action. Game on.
Yeah, but a bit of a mistake there by the Japanese team. They kind of choked off their own corner guard, and one side of the sheet has been taken away a bit. So I think they're going to try to rearrange something out in front here to get a better setup.
So Yamamoto runs straight back. They do leave a guard, but it does open up the path to the one on the 4-foot with the guard being that high.
I think you'll see Libbus come right in again, try to sit 2 now. Hasn't improved the situation, but I think they would have loved if that red stone kind of rode towards the corner one way or the other.
Here's Zachary Polyak. This one very, very high. Does it have the legs to get where it needs to go? Past the guard, not a problem. It had a lot more legs than I thought. It probably does leave a triple.
I might leave a triple, although looks like they're going to play the red guard into the other yellow guard and see if they can get some action in the rings.
Both good shots.
Yeah, try to get the double peel, and well, it's overcurled the double peel. They might catch something in the rings. No,
nothing on the way by. No, right past. So that's
a big mistake.
That is certainly not what the doctor ordered. So now, Libbus is going to look to Christmas tree these.
Yeah, that's just to get this guard partially buried around one of the other guards. To do that, there won't be any single run backs. You'd have to play double or triple run backs.
First two on the way from Muehlberg.
Yeah, they're asking for this to be tight, but most important thing is to put up a guard and have it slightly tucked around this top guard here.
If it's sat right now, they'd be happy.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're probably not displeased with it. So, gonna have to see a double peel and maybe try to get some action in the rings again.
Yeah, the triple peel is definitely there here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, out turn, the counterclockwise turn, slightly high. Right now, the Japanese team, they still have a draw to the button on that outturn side. However, if they don't make some of these double peels, at some point, the Libbus team can take that other draw away.
Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi. Moves 1, 2, leaves the high guard. Improves the situation a little bit, but probably not enough, Jay.
No, you really had to lose the shooter there. You really had to try to get 2 rocks and lose the shooter, because you just put another guard there and 3 guards once again. As you can see it from the screen, that in-turn draw looks like it's already gone, or pretty hard to get to the button on the in-turns. The out-turn draw is still there right now, so I know the Japanese team, they'll be making sure that they have that at the very least on their last rock if nothing goes right here.
Guard forthcoming. You see the brusher on that power clean, which we see so often anymore.
Yeah, that hard clean, as you've just described, especially early on in the path of the rock, can really carry the rock without putting in too much effort. So that's why the top teams are using that these days.
When I played in a charity event with Eugene Ritzik, and he's been studying sweeping quite a bit, and they found that it's that power lean clean, whatever you want to call it, is about 75% as effective as busting your hump.
Yeah, and I think especially at the beginning of the stone, when the rock has good momentum on it still, and it's naturally cutting through the path, I think that's when it's the most effective. As the rock starts decelerating, I think that's when you really do need to jump on the stone and actually sweep to create that friction. it is a big energy saver for sure. And if you don't have to sweep coast to coast.
Well, because sweeping has always been a function of both the number of strokes per minute and the factor of the weight that you can put in the rock. And it's pretty widely accepted that the weight is the larger factor in that equation. But they both certainly play a role. But you ask 6 different people, you're going to get 6 different opinions.
Yeah, and I think some of the difference, and you may see this and it depends on the size and the build of players, but I think you see a little bit less of the hard clean with some of the smaller teams, or so some of the ladies teams and some of the Asian ladies team in particular, because I don't think they have enough weight for that hard clean to make it as effective as some of the men do. If you watch Ben Hebert do that, or Hammy McMillan, and those guys are gigantic. They can put a lot of weight on just that hard clean. Whereas if you compare that to, one of the teams from the Fujisawa rink who are much more petite, they won't be able to get that same weight on that hard clean. So they actually need to use rough strokes to make those rocks carry.
Yamaguchi trying to make some noise here. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Open those rings all the way up. Big shot by Yamaguchi.
A great result there. Gets 2 of the rocks, or all of the rocks moving.
Take us through this one.
Yeah, they looked at a lot on what they should throw, but eventually decided they were going to make this double run back, double attempt to go. Hard to get both of those rocks in the house from that angle, but they moved them both off of that 4-foot line. And now as you look at the rings, there is a tight port on the in-turn side, so there's an in-turn draw as well. There's an out-turn draw still. You've opened that Yellowstone up, so you can hit it still, or maybe make a double if you're still trying to go for a blank here. Of course, Team Libbus, they're going to try to go around those double centers again. You do have to be a little bit careful on the placement because of that side Yellowstone. You can come in off of it and make a double and maybe even stick behind those guards. So
first and 2 for Jacob Libbus.
Yeah, really not sure where the best spot is. If you get to the top of the 4, as I was saying, you'll leave a double. If you leave it too high, you're going to leave a hit and roll off the outside one. So what's the ideal spot? Well, they're pointing to just bite the top of the 4. I would try not to get too buried here, because if you go too deep and too buried, the double will definitely be behind the guard. Now that's top 8. So you just draw around this to play the hit and roll.
I think you do draw around it for sure, but the hit and roll on this side of the ice particularly, they did not take a world's worth of ice there, and they just whiskered that guard. So I don't know if you can really get around the one that was just thrown and be buried enough. Hit and roll is probably the only way to get home.
Yeah, and you can roll far as well. You can roll to the other side of the 8-foot behind the corner guard as well. If you just go for the draw, you'll be kind of in the top of the button area, and then there will be a pretty natural in-off the Yellowstone. So you would leave that shot for the opponent. If you play the hit and roll, you take that away. Of course, the danger with the hit and roll is you better be shot rock after this. Right? If you're not shot rock and you just roll completely out, Team Libbus will have a chance to draw around to the top of the 4 and really cut off the draw path on the other side and have a good chance for a steal. So
key shot.
They had another look at it and looked like they were reconsidering just going for the draw here. They were looking at hit and roll for a long time. It's easier to place the stone where you want it with just drawing.
Oh, absolutely.
You would leave the in-off if you made it, or just a straight hit if you can't bury it enough. Or this hit and roll, a little bit harder to control the roll, but probably the better outcome if you make it.
Yanagisawa with his first.
If they're going to get 2 back in this end and retake the lead, this is the key shot right now. You can roll this to the top of the 4-foot, or you can draw this to the top of the 4-foot. you'll at least have a chance for 2.
I got to carve it over to ever make it finish. Now it does take the curl.
A little heavy, so they're taking it a little bit further back. They don't want that on the back of the button, or else they could get, well, forced into a steal situation. That's far enough back, so you can't, if they freeze to the back red, there's still room for another stone. If they're only top button or full 4 and they're not buried, you might be able to push it out. So still an opportunity for 2. I think the safest call is for Team Libbus to just draw to the back and get the force.
All day and twice on Sunday, buddy.
Yeah. You go top 4 and there is a double off that yellow stone.
So holding a 1 stone advantage in the third end. Here's Jacob Libbus with his final stone of the third. Just trying to tuck it on in there, draw down to his opponents, put the force on. This one has room to work. Needs to curl all the way over to Edmonton right now.
Yeah, it's just a hair on the heavy side. The line wasn't bad. They were just a hair heavy. They bounce it off. I think there's enough room to push that through and get there too here.
I certainly do believe so. Just have to get the right ice for the 2s.
Yeah, I think if they throw fairly similar line to their last rock and just a hair more weight, throw the back 8 or back 12 weight.
Yep, they only have to move the stone about half a rock, 3/4.
Well, a few rocks ago, you didn't think there was going to be an opportunity for 2 points for Team Japan, but here we go, an opportunity to take the lead, eh?
Absolutely. So here's Yanagisawa with a final stone of end number 3. Facing 1 with a chance for 2. Just needs to push his opponent back about a foot. Both men are on it to try to carry it there. It is so tight to that first guard. It's so tight to the second one. Is it going to get past the one in the rings? Yes, it will. And they'll tap it back and get the 2.
I never thought they were going to get that one by. What a great sweep. He was tight all the way. They jumped it right from the hand, and great call there from the house by Yama. Wow, nice shot.
They get their dues. Take a 3-2 lead, and we'll be back. After this, you're watching Curling Stadium on SSN.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
have an idea. And welcome back to Swift Current. It's the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. And it was a big score of 2 by Team Japan there. They hold a 3-2 advantage. And Jason Chang, why don't you take us around the rings?
Yeah, scores after 3 ends on some of the other sheets. Josh Bryden, of course, that's a very famous last name in Saskatchewan curling, playing against the Japanese team, Maeda Takumi. They traded fours in the first 2 ends. It's right now Josh Bryden up 5-4. James Balance, Ethan Sampson. Sampson took 2 in the third to take a 3-1 lead. They just started the fourth end. Jaden King trailing Nick Edin 3-0. And of course, this is our feature sheet. Great shot from Yanagisawa on his last, actually probably even better sweeping than the shot. 3-2 lead over Jake and Libbus.
Yes, you mentioned Team Maeda. There's certainly the other men's team from Japan that has made a lot of noise.
Yeah, that's for sure. They've got I mean, I think in the Japanese program, the women's teams have tended to be have been a little bit more successful, at least internationally. But they've got a number of men's teams as well that are competing actively on the tour. Shinya Abe right now, the highest ranked team in Japan, number 18 in the world. Yanagisawa not too far behind, as mentioned, 28. We talked about Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi's former teammate, Yusuke Morozumi. He's still very active as well. Maeda, the team that's here, and they've got some young teams as well coming through the program. They believe they win the World Juniors not too long ago. Maybe not the last year, but the year before. So. Japanese curling is, I think, in very good health, and they've got a great club system as well. Unlike some of the other countries in Asia, like China or Korea, there's not a lot of club curling, but in Japan, there's a lot of recreational and club curling going on, and they do go through kind of this zone or regional system as they, advance into a national championships like you would have in the U.S. or in Canada.
Definitely seen the results of that with the depth of the program that we've seen exhibited. And on the women's side, you have, of course, Fujisawa, but Tabata has been an up-and-coming force of late.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think maybe a little bit disappointing for the Japanese women at the current World Championships. That's still ongoing, not making the playoff round, but really good representation from Asia in the final 6. The Chinese team, after a few years of not being in the World Championships because they were off during COVID, and then they had to climb their way back to the A division and the Pan Continentals before they get to the World Championships again. So Wang from China, and then of course the Korean team. I think the number 2 seed going into the playoff round.
Exciting stuff for sure. And while we brought you up to date on the other games and had that little colloquy, we got quite the end here.
Yeah, I think finally some rocks stacked into the rings. The first couple ends, those draws to the center were coming up short and ended up having more guards than I guess the team with Hammer wanted. Now you've got them stacked in the house.
The angles seem to slightly favor the Japanese at the moment.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think they're looking at just guard. Looks like they called for a guard. The other play is to play that hit on the yellow stone quietly and try to just sit right in front or just roll a little bit towards the center line. It's a little bit more finesse if you played that shot. The guard is certainly a bit easier, but you are leaving an extra opponent stone in the top of the rings.
I think they're trying to set up an additional stagger to protect our shot stone. It goes right where they put the broom down, so nice shot. So now Libbus has to address this because it's a rock to get through each of those pairs minimum.
Yeah, you can leave the stones in a pretty good spot here. You don't want to throw enough weight to kill your own yellow. You just want to push that red stone into the yellow, move that yellow back a bit, try to gain access to the middle two stones, that red, yellow, red, or those three stones, the red, yellow, red combination. Try to gain direct access through a single run back.
And to that end, you indicated bumper weight there. So Zach Stone on the way. Pass the guard, needs to curl up just a hair. Get that hit, push it back, roll it over. Do you put a scudge of that on the rings? Oh.
Might be.
That's probably biting.
I'd agree with you.
That's a well-managed shot right there.
Yeah, with 3 yellow stones in the rings. There are 3 red stones in the rings. That's the good news for the Japanese team, but they've got to be careful. Every time you don't have hammer, there's multiple opponent stones in the rings. You've got to be very careful with your rock placement. You would never want that, of course, biter to come back to count against you. So very important here to stick around, make the hit and roll. Could be in a pretty good spot, though. If you roll this to the button here, good news for Libbus, I think, is they can probably, I don't know, can you see enough of that yellow stone to push it into the shot stone that's red right now? If you can, they're not in a bad spot.
It's certainly makeable, I would think. This is going to be interesting here because I believe it's the first chase we've seen in this direction.
Yeah, out turn counterclockwise, crossing the center line or starting from the center line going out.
These have shown a lot of finish, and
yeah, this one's finishing pretty hard too. And they get the roll into the middle.
Yeah, they probably overcooked it just a touch. They were hoping to tuck it in behind. Now the whole pile probably does you some good.
Yeah, absolutely. You could make a quad here, and your yellow stone could stay in the house. I don't think that yellow stone's going anywhere. The one in the top 8.
Yep, the one in the top 8's going to jam right in the crotch there. The object stone in the top 8, the red one, is going to likely come underneath the winger. Should lose the stony run back out the other side. Be very happy at the end of this. It's a great story. Let's see if he can publish the book. Milberg pushing it back. Move 1, 2, and that's it.
Well, they've landed on the corner of that red stone, so it's not too bad.
It's a good leave, yeah. Do you just kind of get in there and rattle them around a little bit?
I kind of like that call. Yeah, they're saying you can probably come in off of the red one as well.
You could do that, but you're going to give your opponent, you're going to open up a draw path for your opponent doing that. Whereas the jostle, you're still going to probably leave it half blocked, at least to start.
Yeah, I think if you could get a hair to the inside here, just tap it a little bit, roll the shooter buried. I think you just needed to have another rock in there that is protected, because right now, red sitting first, third, fourth, and fifth.
First and a lot more.
Yellow is second and sixth.
Yeah, so the call was just to draw on down to their own, maybe cross the face just a skosh.
Yeah, and if you can unlock that yellow stone a little bit, you can either remove it later, or at least it'll be harder for it to count if you can unlock it from that red stone. You just freeze it as well. for the Japanese team, they're trying to make sure they don't give up 2 here. They've got a good opportunity to force, and that yellow stone that's corner frozen is the one which could be one of the 2 counters if Team Libbus is going to score 2 here.
They bring it on down, and red sits first, not second, and then a million after that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot.
So I think you have to play that straight double. Kill the shot rock now. Worth talking about because you're.
I like this in off double a little bit better. If you play the straight double, you make it, that's good. You'll sit shot in 4th, but your shot stone is going to be completely accessible, and then Libbus will play that red yellow on your shot stone and sit 3 again. So I think you have to end up sitting 1st and 2nd here if you want a really good chance at getting 2 points. That kind of nose or slightly off nose red double from that 11 o'clock rock. That rock that's just biting that top 8. I don't know if you're getting too late in the end, I think, to score 2 by playing that stone.
Obviously, lots of discussion. Looking at the shot that you like there.
Yeah, they're also considering the tap, the red-yellow tap, try to move things back and try to maybe improve the angle a little bit. I'm not sure. That's got the same problem, though. You make that tap.
Now we have all the cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, but you need one head chef, though.
And at the end, they had to go, "We chef."
Well, they're not on time clocks in this tournament, so they can discuss quite freely here.
Oh, yes, they can. Now that I look at it more and more, I like your shot an awful lot.
And one of their players, I don't know who it was advocating for that pretty vigorously, but opening up the middle isn't a bad call. I don't know if I would have played any other shot other than opening up the middle or playing that double that I was advocating for. I think anything else, I don't think you're helping yourself enough here this late in the end. If it was earlier, that nose double, I think would be a pretty good call if you've still got 4 or 5 rocks left or 3 or 4 rocks left. But this is already the 3rd last stone, so you've only got 2 after this one.
So Nathan rears up and fires. Right down the middle, trying to open it up. And they get the straight peel.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they were trying to hope that it would come into one of those red stones in the house and have that yellow stick around somewhere.
I was quite certain that was the call as well. So now if you're Team Japan, do you try to find a way to kill that yellow on the 4th?
I think so. I think it's probably time to kill the yellow. Because if you don't kill the yellow now, Libbus is definitely playing that red double that I was advocating for, right? You can't throw a guard here. I think you just play the nose hit or some sort of nose and stick around. Make the yellow go away. You'll have a bunch of red stones out in front. Hopefully you don't stagger your reds out in front because Team Libbus might be forced to just draw around everything or play a hit and roll behind everything. You'd like to have one of your red stones there that you can make a short run back on.
And Yosh put the broom down for a normal weight hit. Riku delivers his first. Punch it out. They lose their one in the 4 foot, but they lie 5.
Yeah, now you have to play the hidden roll here. You want to roll a little bit far. You don't want to leave the straight back run back. So roll it behind that staggered guard, those 2 rocks in the top 8 foot acting as guards. Or you can open up the front if you want. Try to just get rid of that, make that double, maybe stay right there. Then you'll have the full 4 foot available on your last rock.
This is certainly the only path to 2.
That's right. I think if you're trying to get 2, you have to play the hidden roll here.
Skipper's ready to go.
The problem with this situation, though, is if you make this hidden roll and you roll it onto the button or on the top of the 4 foot and that run back is made, you'll have a hard time scoring on your last stone. That whole front will be congested. They'll have made the run back, assuming they're successful, will be in the top of the 4 foot. So that's why I really like the double earlier. I think you really needed to sit 1-2 earlier, B-shot stone.
First to 2 for Jacob Libbus. Going to get the hit. This is probably going to overroll just a skosh.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
Stops right at the perfect time.
Looked like it was going to roll a hair too far, but that's about as far as you could roll without being open.
The run back is available. It's tight, but it's there.
Yeah. Or just a straight tap.
Could also play off the redstone onto it. It goes, that's a pretty natural angle. Playing off the one on the 12 foot. Have to be confident that you're going to make it, of course.
Yep, absolutely. If you play the run back here and you miss it, it'll be a pretty easy shot for 2. That's why they're looking at just playing a straight tap. Even if you don't get shot stone, you'll basically have the path covered, and it'll be a pretty tough shot for 2. So, and obviously, if you make it perfect right on the pin, you've got the steal point in play. So I think they've decided to play the tap to the button here.
This one needs to go if it's going to have enough weight to move anything. Got to get down to the rings. Does it have enough legs left? And the answer is no. So 2 choices here, 2 ways in. You can probably play the draw. You can play off a red, whatever you like, really, buddy.
The draw is fairly tight, though. You might have to give it a little extra rotation or plan to rub the backside of that rock in the top 8 on the way by. Hidden roll's definitely there. Can definitely get to the full 4 foot on the hidden roll.
You might be able to draw around the one on the 12 foot too, and get. You only need half the 4.
Yeah, on the outturn side. Yep, if you got the perfect weight, you probably can get enough of the 4 foot. This is probably the easier draw. You do have to navigate that long guard though, that corner guard. It's not kind of that halfway corner guard. And as they're motioning, you may end up rubbing off that rock in the top 8 and rolling it into the 4 foot.
Yeah. Looking where the broom is, I don't think that they're going to have to worry about the long guard.
Yeah, once you buy that long guard, if your weight looks okay, you want to be keeping it on the straight side to try to get it by that redstone, those redstones in the 8 foot.
So Jacob Libbus has one in his pocket right now. Needs to draw half the 4 foot to get 2. Final stone of the 4th end. Just keeping it clean. Pass the guard, no problem. It's all about the weight control now. And hold that line there. On the straight side, going to be past the guard.
Good.
The brooms already go up. And you can put 2 on the board for yellow. It's 4-3 after 4. We'll be back with more on Curling Stadium after this.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
And welcome back to the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek shootout from the Swift Current Curling Club. A deuce one on the board for Jacob Libbus here. Team Japan, being with the game called by Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, has a hammer here in end number 5. I'm Dave Schmel, and I'm joined by the Sultan of the Sheets, Jason Chang.
Got a promotion from Prince to the Sultan. I like it.
Yeah, but there's about to be an armed revolution next, so watch out.
Well, hopefully I have a lot of guards.
Well, were able to skinny past that guard to make the takeout.
Really tight game here.
Very much so.
And a couple of deuces just traded, a couple of kind of unexpected deuces traded. That end didn't look like 2 was brewing until that very end, but a little mistake, I think, on that raise by Yanagisawa on his last. Didn't quite get that to the top of the button, and that opened up the door for that draw with 2 points for Jake Libbus. And a good draw as well, because they had to negotiate that corner guard as well as the rock in the top of the 8, and they just threw that perfectly. Well managed.
And this shot is well managed as well. Holds on to a bit of the 12-foot, so as we very often see out here, after a big mentally exhausting end like that one, looks a little bit more open the next end.
Yeah, and this is the 5th end. These are 8-end games, so Team Libbus obviously in a bit of an advantage here, having the lead right now. with 4 ends to play, so there's 2 hammers each, so that's a good situation. So for Team Yanagisawa, they wouldn't mind blanking this and taking hammer to 6, get the hammers and the evens.
Trying to work this one over. This does need to curl a skosh. It's just going to catch a piece of it and roll and skitter its way out of the house.
Yeah, that's a big miss. Now the force is definitely on. If the force is on, Japanese team, depending on how the next couple of rocks go, may decide to switch gears and try hard for their 2 points.
Key shot here. Weight control is crucial for this shot. A lot of ways to leave a double if you're not careful.
Yeah, certainly if you're a bit deep, you can leave a double, or if you leave a piece open and you're a little bit high, you can leave a double.
So Paul, yep. Comes up short. So there's a free out. Yamaguchi's going to take it. Ooh.
Well, I think they're going to go for the blank. I think if they're playing that shot, they're going for the blank here.
Oh, they're definitely playing the blank once they line that up, yeah. Going to try to peel the high one onto the one in the wings there. Losing both, and the shooter as well. And really open up the scenery. Precise shot upcoming. On the line. Gonna push it. Straight back. Straight on. Straight through.
And that's the worst result possible. Leaves the double center guards. The other Yellowstone in the rings is still there. And now the force is definitely on. They're definitely going around this one.
Just like Rain Man. Definitely going around.
A lot of curling in Saskatchewan this month. Of course, we were in Martinsville last weekend where Corey dropped in, won that. Swift Current now. Of course, World Championships coming up in Moose Jaw.
Martinsville event was fantastic last week. Great curling there. I expect more of the same here with many of the same teams.
Yeah, many of the same and a couple of other ones too, including Nicodine.
Mm-hmm. Well, does this one come too deep? Did they leave a double? Oh, I think they did, buddy.
Yep, double's definitely there.
You could probably stick it and stay underneath that new cover.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If you want to get to a blank, that's going to be what you have to call. Or
yeah, and that gives you
deuce here.
Yeah, that gives you an option too, right? If you make the double and stay partially undercover, the blank is possibly still on, or the deuce is still on. So
great chance to take a two-way shot here. Some joker named Jason Chang wants to friend me on Facebook.
Well, now that I've gotten upgraded to being a sultan, I'm not sure I should be friending you. Can I add you as a servant or something? Is that a feature?
I mean, I'm at least a minor elected official here, so I don't know if I'm a servant. I'm a public servant.
The town crier.
The inspector of elections, but close enough. Oh, I needed the road in front of my house paved for about 20 years, so I'm certainly the town crier at the town hall.
Well, they are playing the double, I believe.
Yep,
Looked
so
at the angle for a while.
here it comes from Yamaguchi. Just trying to move over just a skosh. Gets you pretty thick. There's worse outcomes than that, but that is certainly better.
Not a bad lead, though. That red stone, I think it's pretty hard to push that red stone out without jamming it.
Right.
That looks really tight. Needed to hit this first rock a bit thinner. Just hit it too thick, came off the top side of that second yellow stone, pushes it towards the top of the button. I guess maybe you can just get to the nose or just inside the nose to push this by, but it's pretty dangerous.
Certainly not going to be an easy call. You can see them looking at the alternative of just drawing around, but of course the short run's going to be there, so you have to address that red somehow.
Yeah, they're just going to push this back. They really decided that they can't push it all the way out with the fact that it is a little bit buried there. So just back 8 weight, push the red stone back, try to stay in front, get a little bit rolled behind that or behind the center guard.
Nate Moberg with his second of the fifth. Now on it for the line.
I think they decided they were too wide and want to hit it thinner.
Gonna go plan B, try to chip it out over the top. They chip it right on top. They're gonna hang around the back. But now, interesting situation now.
Yeah, they chipped it far enough such that there's no run back or a short tap. But red is second shot. I have to think of a way to rearrange that rock in the top of the rings here. That red stone is not in a great position to score right now. That yellow stone that's on the top of the button effectively guarded by 3 stones. I like the call here. Just tap it onto the corner, the other side of the corner. Leave the shooter in front for a short tap or a short run back as well. Be quite ideal here.
Right, it'll give you angles from both sides available, and your opponent can only get rid of one of them at a time.
That's good, all you guys. That's good, all you.
So Yamaguchi. Making sure his front end's on the same page with him. On the way. They're facing one. They lie second, but not in a good spot.
Yeah, looking for tap. Probably about back 4 weight is what you need here.
Gonna be tight to that top guard. They're gonna just whisker it on the way by. Now keep it moving to maintain yourself an angle in. So there you go. Still shot stone for Jacob Libbus. But he has to certainly address that rock that was just thrown.
I think so. I think you absolutely have to play the hidden roll here.
Looking at what they might have from the other side, but this is the danger rock here. Here's a good look at it. Just looking to hit and roll just a skosh in front of it.
Then they might go around.
that broom there, probably throwing pretty decent weight at it. You know, at least control or heavy board. You surprised by that at all, Jason?
Well, I wouldn't throw any more than that. I think that's probably max you want to throw at it. Obviously, you've gone through half the game now, so sometimes your weight choice is dictated by what you've seen earlier in the game or what you've been throwing. Board weight would be what I would like to throw at this. You can control that roll, but no more than control for this type of shot.
This pass been just a fraction straighter. First and 2 for Jake Libbus. Indicating might be a little bit hot. Hanging out there, needs to come over. Just gonna nose it. No roll over.
And they just make a play directly on the red-yellow now. They did move that yellow guard over a little bit, so they've got a little bit more room to work with. I don't know, though, if you can throw enough weight to actually move the yellow far enough out if you play directly on the red.
Based on how little that one curled, I think to get to where you'd have to be, your back line just hack at best, which would be enough if you throw perfectly. There's a good look at it. Really only the long red is in play there.
Yeah, they could also play the same shot as they just tried to play, that little tap onto the corner. Problem with just playing the yellow stone, playing the yellow hit, and they were motioning for a hit and roll, but if you play the hit and roll, you might not leave yourself with much to access that yellow stone. You almost want to hit and stay open.
And as you figure out what shot you like, why don't you smash that like button? Help us out with the algorithms. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us bring you more curling and more venues. We have all the sheets running this tournament all weekend long. You can always get all the scores and any available streaming links at curlingzone.com.
And some of our best fans are our Japanese fans. About 13 hours, I think, ahead of us.
And for
actually,
that,
probably 14 hours, or 15 actually, ahead of Saskatchewan, I think.
Absolutely, and for that, arigato gozaimasu. We thank them very much. Always on the air, even at what would be odd times for them.
They are called the Land of the Rising Sun. If they're watching the North American coverage, they will see a few sunrises in the morning.
This one catching that straight spot again, trying to carve it over.
Well,
Can they get lucky and slash it back? Oh, they catch it on the back side and move it out in the open. That's a great result. Leaves Jacob Libbus sitting one, but decidedly less protected.
Yeah, the important choice here now. I mean, I don't think you would guard the Yellowstone. I think if you guard the Yellowstone, Yanagisawa is going to draw on that in-turn clockwise side for shot rock in the top of the 4. That would make it very difficult to remove because even if you don't bury it, it'll jam onto the other side potentially, jam onto your Yellowstone if you try to make a play on it. If you're buried, there's no way to get into it. So I think they want to make some sort of play in the rings, maybe this double. That's what they're looking at right now.
If they do that and stick it, they'll Y4. So that will be the call. Skipper goes through his pre-shot routine.
Yeah, looks at about a third of the rock here for this double.
On the way from Libbus. Firm weight, pretty solid, positive release here. Do they have the line? Gonna get the one and underneath.
Yeah, just a hair too thin. Right through the hole.
Yep, and it's gonna be a nose hit for 2. Never laid a broom on it, just looks like he may have started in just a touch. So Yanagisawa, final stone of event number 5. Facing 1 needs a nose hit for 2.
Another end that didn't look like we're gonna get a deuce on the board, but
just a heavy clean. Work it over just a skosh. No problem there. Put 2 on the board for red. They take a 5-4 score after 5. We'll be back from Swift Current right after this. You're watching Curling Stadium on SSN.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Hi, I'm Jane.
And I'm Rick, and Jane and I are the owners of Sprague Foods Limited here in Belleville, Ontario, in the Bay of Quinte area. We're a food processing facility, and we can a whole range of products, including soups and sauces and rice pudding and beans.
And back here at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout from the Swift Current Curling Club. Team Japan picked up their dues. Let's take a 5-4 advantage. Libbus has the hammer, throwing the Yellowstones at end number 6. I'm Dave Schmel, and joined by the Dean of Drawweight, Jason Chang, who's going to give us a score update.
Yeah, we've got one final. Nick Adine has beaten Jaden King already. Ethan Sampson, he's got a 1-point lead, 3-2 against James Balance. Ethan Sampson had hammer in the 7th end. And the other game also in the 7th end, a couple of single steals for Takumi Maeda of Japan from Kitami, Japan. Leads 7-5 over Josh Bryden. Team Bryden has hammer in the 7th.
Thank you, Jason. And back here, every deuce that we've had so far in this game certainly was not drawn up to be that way.
No, all those times it seemed like the team without Last Rock had pretty good control of the rings and the situation on in front of the rings. And then either a kind of a half shot near the end, a little mistake, opened up the door. Pretty much in all of those cases.
Kudos to the Last Rock throwers for both squads. Making clutch shots there when needed.
Yeah, not a lot of mistakes on that very last rock at the end when they had that hammer. Those ones have been made. It's been either the one right before or a couple right before where then that opportunity rose.
The devil is in the penultimate stone.
Yeah, and they've been basically exchanging leads here. After Team Yanagisawa got the single in the first end with hammer, they've exchanged deuces for the last 4 ends. So you see the score 5-4 Yanagisawa, Libbus with hammer, but he does have hammer in that even end, the 6th end, so they'd like to put full points on the board.
And they're trying to drag this one past. They reckon the top just by a hair. It's going to roll wide open. So just that little half shot. It's going to get the deuce starting to be in order early. See if Team Libbus can hold it with a good hit and roll here.
Yeah, they've already got one rock behind the corner guard. Get this roll behind the staggered centers, or there's a center guard and a rock in the top 12 that's acting as a guard if you can make this roll. Be rolling a little bit far, but they can roll around the corner too if they keep going. May have been better off leaving it to curl a bit more and getting a bigger roll. Now they've just left the double.
Yep, the double is there. It goes pretty easy.
Yeah, this team based out of the Karuizawa area. Of course, Karuizawa very famous, and the surrounding area very famous for curling as well as other outdoor sports.
It's been curling up on them just a little bit. Skosh high. Chance to roll back under. I was able to spend a week in Japan this past year. Enjoyed it immensely.
Just on a vacation or?
Just on a vacation, yeah.
And where did you hit up?
I spent 3 nights in Tokyo, 1 night in Kinosaki Onsen.
Oh, no, very good.
I spent another night in Kyoto, and then 2 nights in Sapporo on Hokkaido.
That's the only island of the main islands I haven't been to in Japan is up in Hokkaido.
Hokkaido certainly is full of natural beauty, as is the entire country of Japan. Beautiful, beautiful country.
The one opportunity I thought I was going to get to Hokkaido was when they were scheduled to host a Pacific Asia Championships, but that got canceled because of COVID. So missed my chance there, but I've been to all the other 3 main islands about a decade ago. Don't want to date myself too much, but as a Sultan, I there's got to be a little bit of age to that.
Well, you're currently a dean, so there's still age to that, though.
Yeah, I've worked for a couple of months in Japan. I used to work for a natural resources company that was, and a major shareholder was Mitsui, very well-known conglomerate in Japan, and we did an exchange of employees with our shareholders. So I spent 2 months working out of the Mitsui offices in Japan and got to travel all around to visit clients and customers, their customers, our own customers, see the sites. So it was quite the experience. And I did make it to Karuizawa as well. Did some curling in and around the area, not at the facility right in Karuizawa, the beautiful building that hosted the Olympic Games. But so that facility is fantastic. We're still hosting the Karuizawa International, an event that a lot of teams look forward to every year.
So here comes Yamaguchi. Trying to play the draw down here. This needs legs.
It's diving towards that guard, so it must have been a hair soft of what they were gonna get there though.
Past the guard.
But it didn't quite get there, and it looks like it's third shot, so it doesn't help them at all here.
If anything, it's almost could be a hindrance. So, big opportunity here for Team Libbus. They lie 1-2. Gonna come on into the 4-foot now and make the Team Japan chase that the rest of the way.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what Team Japan does. Assuming this draw is made to the top of the rings, top of the 4, or even top of the 8. It'll be interesting to see how Japan responds. They could throw a freeze on top of this draw, wherever this one lands, to try to neutralize those other 2 yellow counters that are in the 12-foot. That would be one way to make sure those other 2 yellows don't come back to bite them. But what they play will depend on where this stone ends up.
They are trying to carry it. This can be past the guards without a problem, but it does not have the required weight. So that is opportunity missed.
Yeah, I think you've got to go around the centers now.
So either go around the centers or run the corner, which is the wrong color, but you could kill the other ones in the rings and lie too. You make it well. Also, that's quite difficult. But
And you can have this rock land in the back of the 4, even in the back of the 8. That would make that yellow run back, the rock that was just thrown, that run back a little bit harder. It looks like you can almost see the entire yellow stone, so that yellow can be probably tapped straight back with the right weight or on a bit of an angle. So if you go back of the rings here, you'll create maximum distance.
So Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi. Firing off his second. Looking to make the draw. Just watch their opponent come up light on a similar path. They should have gotten some good information on this. It has
looks pretty close.
It's got line for days. It's going to settle just back button. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, really good shot. They're having a close look whether they can make this yellow straight back. Is there enough room, or this is the other call. Might be able to get the triple out of this.
If you make that yellow straight back, you're not going to. You can't leave much room to the imagination.
No, and that's why I do like the peel on this rock. It's still early enough in this end. You get that guard off, get that other rock in the top 12 off of there. If you're lucky enough, catch the one in the back 4, but that's not even that important. Getting that guard and the top 12 rock off of there will help you a long way.
Absolutely, because you're still sitting second and third here.
And those are protected, so.
And you're threatening. You just have to make it happen. So, Muehlberg. Big shot here.
I just want to be play safe first.
Little speed wobble. Pick this up right out of his hand. Happy with it now. Gonna get 1, 2. Touch the third in the house. Does it go far enough? Still shot stone, but situation vastly improved.
Yeah, a little unlucky to not get that redstone to spin another 4 or 5 inches. They would be sitting second and third if that had happened. But again, plan A, or the main objective, was to get rid of that guard and that rock in the top 12. Now everything is open. You have access to the button if you need to. And if you ever got a little bit of a break, a half shot from your opponents, or you make a really good one later, those 2 yellow stones that's behind the corner could come back and count for you.
So you said you spent 2 months in Japan, Jason.
Yeah, 2 months in Japan.
That
was not the only time I've been to Japan. I also have visited a friend once, actually a friend who curled with me in Toronto when we studied at the University of Toronto. He moved to Japan, or actually he actually works in the Canadian Foreign Service, so he's posted to Japan, ended up marrying a Japanese girl when he was actually back in Ottawa, when she was working at the Japan Foundation. So he's posted somewhere else in the world now, but when he lived in Japan, I actually visited him, and I've also been to Japan en route to my native Hong Kong, and en route to Korea when I went there. So I love Japan. It's a great country, lots of culture, food is fantastic, especially if you like Japanese food.
And I'm going to get your opinion in the next end of one of the quintessential arguments in Japanese food culture.
I'm gonna eagerly await your question, and then I might plead the fifth.
Oh, I think you might know the answer. I think most people who spend more than at least a week there have an opinion on this one. I know our friends in the chat will.
Well, if you're asking me whether I like natto, I don't like natto. I don't know if you know what natto is, but that's not something I enjoyed.
Oh, we're not going to be going there. This one ends up probably a little bit deeper than they would have liked. They still lie 2-3.
Yeah,
No good way to get the double.
Yeah, important for them to lie 2 or 3, but you're right, that is a bit deeper than they wanted. They definitely wanted that on the top side of the center line, or the top side of the T line, excuse me, rather than the behind it.
So we have the discussion here, and probably going to draw underneath somehow. Question is the depth that you want it to be. So Jacob is getting his input. Look at it from behind there. Plenty of room to get at the shot rock from both angles.
Yep, so whichever side you like.
See, they're going to play the clockwise rotation here. The in turn.
And for them, they definitely want to stop this in the top of the 4. Full 4 foot, try to be shot stone behind the guard, out counting that stone that's in the back of the 4.
First one on the way from Jacob Libbus. See that big power clean again. Past the guard, no problem. A matter of depth. Settled down, settles right where they asked it to be. As if they walked it down and placed it. Nice shot.
Really good positioning. If that was another foot deeper, Yanagisawa could draw on top and be shot stone frozen. Where it is right there, Yanagisawa cannot freeze and be shot stone.
It's really good because you can't even play the run back on the yellows if you wanted to, because then you'd open up a double back for a potential 3.
Absolutely. So they're going to try to just sit in Well, Tsushi's having a look to see if he can get shot rock by drawing out turn wide side. They were originally just, yeah, it might be there. They were originally just looking at, they've gone back to it. They're just going to sit in front of the yellow stone and then leave the side of the button for Team Libbus.
So Yanagisawa delivers his final stone of the 6. They want to come a little bit deeper than this.
Yeah, they take away that in-turn draw, but that out-turn draw is still there.
Pretty much almost all the 4-foot to be able to draw to. The Japanese stone is about half in.
Yeah, they come to the Japanese stone if they want to. They were just having a look at if they stopped it on the corner of their Yellowstone, whether they'd be counting enough, and I think that would do it too. I think there's enough real estate there.
It's close if it doesn't roll too much, but I certainly agree with you. So to maintain his hammer efficiency here.
Hammer efficiency, very good, padding their stats, both teams.
Jacob Libbus has one. Needs half the 4-foot for a second. Final stone of end number 6. Just keeping it clean initially. This one looks like it needs some legs. Got to drag it there. Don't ever want to leave it short. Short's the worst thing you can do. Can you get it there? Do you drag it there? Is it there? No, it's not. You left it short. It's going to be a single point only. We have a tie score after 6. Yanagisawa and Team Japan have the hammer room. We come back to Swift Current.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Welcome back to the Speedy Creek Shootout presented by Curling Stadium in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We have a tied-up affair, 5-5 after 7. The hammer belongs to Team Japan. Throwing the red stones here in the 7th end. I'm Dave Schmel, and I'm joined by our culinary captain, Jason Chang. And Jason, from your time in Japan,
yes,
there is one food that is available at all 3 of the major convenience store chains: Larson, Family Mart, and 7-Eleven. And that, of course, is the egg salad sandwich. Which convenience store has the superior egg salad sandwich? Your thoughts?
So, I have had the egg salad sandwich in Japan.
I knew you would.
But I've only actually had it at the 7-Eleven, I believe. I've only had it 1 or 2 times. So, I guess if I've only had it once, I guess that's my favorite one, right?
Okay, so we have a vote for 7-Eleven. I'm a Family Mart man on this one. Love to see what the other opinions are. Fire it out in the chat.
Well, the convenience store game in Japan is much more advanced than it is here in North America.
It puts us to shame.
With the food options, the onigiri is one of my favorite, but all the bento boxes, the sandwiches that you can get, the oden, the hot food that you can get as well.
Not to mention that you can get a Centauri highball right on the shelf.
That's right. Of course, those hot and cold teas, the Georgia coffee, delicious. The red tea. Yeah, not just that. One of the things I found out that you can do at the convenience stores or the 7-Eleven, I believe, is Japanese people love to golf, but you got to get your golf clubs from one place to another. Well, you can ship your golf clubs through the 7-Eleven to wherever you need to go. So that was a crazy revelation.
That's absolutely fabulous. And when I bought tickets to see the Chiba Marines play the Hokkaido Ham Fighters, I had to go pick up my tickets for the game from the 7-Eleven.
Now, good start here for Team Yanagisawa. They've got the hammer. It's a tie game. They've got 3 in the rings and 2 buried behind that center guard.
And Kane-san, I love the emoji.
Yes, the onigiri. Did you ever try, when you were in Japan, you were only there for a month, but did you try the poisonous, well, when they serve it, it should not be poisonous if it's prepped properly, that pufferfish, the fugu?
I did not have fugu, no.
So I did have the opportunity to have fugu a couple of ways. I think boiled as well as sashimi form as well as fried. It was all delicious. And I guess I lived to tell the story.
It means it was obviously properly prepared.
Yeah, I guess you have to have special certification as a chef to prepare fugu. I guess it's the liver or the bladder that is poisonous, so you can't make sure the poison doesn't spill out when you're prepping the fish. But the sashimi was particularly interesting because the texture of the fugu sashimi is so different than the other fishes in sashimi form that I've ever had. So that was quite special. But yeah.
We see the guard starting to get peeled open here. It's shot stone for Team Japan. Second belongs to Libbus right now. I remember when I was waiting for the train back from Kinosaki Onsen, waiting to take my train back to Kyoto, that everybody was standing in line outside this bakery. And then this woman came out and rang a bell, and more people got in line. So I said, you know what? I'm getting in line.
You're going to stand in line.
Because I didn't even know what I was going to get, and it was this most delicious puffy milk bread.
Oh, the milk bread.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. And I was happy. I was happy I got in line. And you know what? That's when you go traveling. That's a good idea. If you see people lining up for something, it's probably good. Give it a shot.
I think we'll need some of our Japanese fans to send some of these products over for us. We have these in between end breaks that we can have a bite to eat. So some Japanese snacks would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, and the biggest thing with the egg salad sandwich is made with the Kewpie mayonnaise, which it's a lot sweeter than the products we have here. Oh, the hot spring emoji. Oh, yes, indeed. I enjoyed Kinosaki Onsen, went to the different onsens there, and then when I went to Sapporo, I took a mountain biking expedition where the local guide took me up to, and forgive me, I don't know the exact onsen I went to, but we drove up to the mountain and then rode our bikes all the way back down the valley along various rocks and trails over a long suspension bridge we had to walk on, and then had to bike back up and enjoyed the onsen afterwards.
Yeah, well, we went to an onsen, I guess a park, where there were the hot springs after a business meeting or a business trip. So we were all dressed in our suits, and our Japanese colleagues were like, "Oh, why don't we go to the hot spring park and we can dip our feet or legs into the hot springs?" And so we were wearing our suits, but had our legs in the hot spring. So I've got a couple of funny pictures of that happening. We're the best dressed people there.
And then right in the middle of the town square in Sapporo, adjacent to the TV tower, there was a couple stands with hibachis of grilling sweet corn. And I know the folks in Hokkaido love sweet corn, and that hot butter corn miso ramen was possibly one of my most memorable meals.
Ramen, one of my favorites, always a great comfort food.
With the corn and that just big dollop of butter on it, adding that richness to the already huge umami in the broth. Oh my goodness!
But my absolute favorite and the most eye-opening ramen I had in Japan, I think the place is called Afuri Ramen, but they had a yuzu flavored broth. So with that little bit of yuzu citrus flavor, it was so refreshing. And so I had that once when I was in Japan and went back the most recent time to Japan. Me and my wife, we went back to that shop to have it again. Really, really good.
And very quietly, that shot from Team Libbus skittered off the top and rolled over. So Riku Yanagisawa sitting, and Team Japan, with Yamaguchi calling the shots here. Line second, chance to lie 2 after this one.
Yeah, the setup's really good right now for Japan. The middle is completely open. There is a center guard, but there's nothing congesting the button area if you ever need to draw there. You're going to have a couple of stones spread out.
On and off this one, they like the line. Now just carve it over a skosh. Get the hit, roll it wide. Make sure there's a no double there.
Definitely no double there.
Well, it's there if you get thrown about a 4-2. But for most mere mortals,
4-2 is pretty hard. 6 is about as fast as most players at the most elite level can get.
And I'm happy to hit the berm at about a 7.5 or 8 for me, which is more than sufficient 95% of the time. So that's probably the better call. Just hit and dive underneath a piece of cover. So you'll still be lying 1-3 after that.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to stay in the rings for sure, and you've got a couple of options. You can roll it behind the guard right now, or you can roll a little bit further, try to group the red stones a little bit. Got some options. They talk through whether they want to hit or stick behind the guard or go far. I mean, I think both are good options here.
I think this is where you had to call what you feel is your highest percentage make.
I like the roll behind the guard. It's a shorter roll. If you try to roll far, you could accidentally roll all the way out. And if you roll and just be half buried but be on the center line side slightly open, then when the other team, the Japanese team, makes a hit on it, they're going to be rolling their shooter closer to their red stone as well. So I think you'd like to roll this. Well, they're going to go a bit far now, which is okay. That's why they were just kind of maybe discussing it more than they needed to, because either option was pretty good.
Yeah, because it's going to be very difficult for Japan to not leave a double back here now.
Yeah, they'll certainly be makeable double off the next one after this shot is played. Just how difficult they can make it, obviously, if they can get more separation.
Yeah, I think you want to roll really, really big here. So Yanagisawa ready to deliver his first here. This game's been a seesaw battle the whole time. Got one hammer each right now, with it being tied up. Both teams looking to score their deuce here, if not more. Hard on the line. This one is curling. It's going to roll nicely.
Yep, really good. Like
Very
we
good
said,
outcome.
the double is going to be there, but they have created some separation.
And it always was going to be there. Not much you could do about it. Now they certainly need to take it on, and they're going to manicure the rings a little bit here. Making sure that there's no schmutz in the way. Yep, big weight, his final stone of the 7th. On it, right out of his hand. He might have got it going. It's going to catch too much of it.
And now, is there a shot for 3? I absolutely think so. You hit the rock that is in the 8-foot first and kick it across. I think that might be the safest way to make the double.
There's a chance it catches the one in the back 12, but it's never taken out the one in the 8-foot. So you give it a shot for sure, and if you make it, what a bonus.
Yeah, I think if you hit that rock just slightly high, you don't need to kick that other Yellowstone very far.
Oh, that is some unexpected bacon for Team Japan here. And isn't that the best kind?
The unexpected ones, yeah, absolutely. Maple glazed and unexpected.
Oh, now you're talking just crack cocaine there.
And then what's even better is if that's on a Moss burger. I don't know if you had any of those Moss burgers in Japan, but really enjoyed those as well. All right.
So, final stone, the 7th end. Trying to make 3 here if he can. Just going to get the nose and only get 2. But a big 2 indeed it is for Team Japan. They have a 2-stone lead as we head to the 8th. Hang on tight. It's a good one here at Speedy Creek.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
I have an idea. Back here in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, it's the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. And what a game we have had. It's Team Japan with a 2-stone advantage over Jacob Libbus entering the 8th end. Libbus has a hammer. I'm Dave Schmel, joined by the Lieutenant of Leads, Jason Chang.
I'm not sure if I'm getting promotions or demotions at this point. But 2 nice corner guards by the Team Libbus lead. That's how you're going to set up 3 points in this last end. And quite honestly, 3 points in 8th ends or the last ends of games with the 5-rock free guard zone rule happens, with decent frequency.
This game we've seen a lot of good execution, and ultimately it's been that both teams taking advantages of just minor misses by their opponents to put themselves in awesome positions.
Yeah, that last end was very well constructed by the Japanese team, and they really had a very, very big pull shot for 3. Really the first opportunity we had for a big score like that this game. A lot of those deuces that have popped up this game have just been on those last couple of stones.
Spitters out there. So 2 stones up and looking to remove the guard here. Nice, safe, very percentage-based call here.
Yeah, you've still got to be sharp on these. These are just peels, but you've got to roll your shooters out. You don't want to leave more guards. This is going to be left as a guard, so that's something that Team Libbus can use. They're going to make a play on those rocks in the rings now and roll around or roll behind.
You throw it with enough pace, you might even be able to skitter over behind your own.
Yeah, I think that would be ideal. Probably that red run back isn't super long, but I don't think they mind it being behind the red. Just make them play that run back for now. Then you can go around the corner. Maybe you'll miss it, or maybe they'll stuff it and leave another guard that you can use later. That's
and a big
another foot higher. Yeah, nice shot.
This comes underneath, and we want to welcome the viewers from the game between Takumi Maeda and Josh Bryden. Maeda got that win in an extra end over Joshua Bryden. And here in our match, Team Japan holds a 2-stone lead. It is Jacob Libbus with the hammer here in end number 8, needing to score 2 to force an extra.
Yeah, this is the last game on the ice. Ethan Sampson was a winner, and Nick Ledeen made pretty short work of Jaden King from London, Ontario. And now with all the sheets off, some of them have been off for a little bit of time. The ice shed will get a little bit cooler, and that could affect the ice conditions, ice speed. Ice temperature might decrease just a little bit. That typically would slow down the ice a little bit. So if you're playing a draw, you just got to be careful. The sweepers have to keep on top of it.
And we're glad that you're still here with us on Curling Stadium. Make sure you stay with us all weekend long. I'm Dave Schmel, and he's the Commodore of the Come Around, Jason Chang.
I like it. I like that one. Yeah, we've got draws at 2:30 Eastern, 6:30 Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern. Subtract 2 hours if you're in local time. Or add quite a few if you're out in the Pacific.
Don't forget to carry the 1.
I think Yanagisawa will be featured again at 6:30, and Maeda will be featured at 10 p.m. for the Japanese fans. Well, a couple of corner guards. This is a good setup here. Those are 2 staggered corners. Team Libbus drops one behind there.
It does come pretty well behind the tee line, so options here. They could take on the chase, or they could draw down to it. What would you prefer there, Jay?
Well, it does look like there's quite a bit of curl center line going away from the center, and so you can definitely play the chase here. If there wasn't as much curl, then you would look at probably just throwing the freeze. They were calling the chase earlier, although this looks like more ice, so maybe they're just playing the freeze.
The weight would indicate that. So on the way from Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi. This one is taking off there. Look at that turn. And it just wicks on the guard. They are able to keep it moving. Keep it in the rings for shot stone.
That seemed to catch them off guard, Dave.
Yeah, it looks like it may have picked something.
They didn't look concerned whatsoever. In fact, they may have even been carving it for a moment, and then it really started to move. Unfortunate break, and now a really good chance here for Team Libbus to make the hit and roll behind the corner, and then you'd have 2 buried, setting up for 3 points.
Nathan Muehlberg playing this cute little downweight shot here.
Looks really good.
And they lie 1-2 under cover.
Still see about 2/3 of this stone, so definitely can push it out. And they're going to want to here. And try to stay around in the rings, in the 8-foot. They're having a look whether you can actually hit enough of the yellow and clip the back yellow on the way by. Maybe they can do that.
I was just going to bring that up, Jason.
Looks like it is there. There's a lot of movement, as we were saying, going from center line out. So I think you can see enough of that rock.
Had to absolutely kill one, though. A miss here could have you looking at a loss.
Yeah, we are at final skip stones or fourth rock thrower stones here, so big shot.
First on the way from Yanagisawa. They picked this one up right off his hand. Now working on the carve. It's got plenty of room. Going to come into contact. Just pick the one over the top. Do they hang around for a shot? Really want to do that.
Just.
And they just make it. Well managed. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be made.
That was important to hang around a shot stone. If that slipped another inch or two and was second shot, you'd see Team Libbus drawing around that double corner situation again, sitting too buried, and now you're looking at a potential loss. Now hidden stick for Jake. You'd expect Yanagisawa to just make a hidden stick back. And then it'll be 2 points in a tie game. Gotta make this one first, though. Can't roll out either. You gotta stick around.
They make contact, gonna roll to the outside. But they do lie too. I don't know, very close for second shot. Maybe we can get that a little bit tighter overhead shot. Extremely close.
Definitely very, very close, but I don't know if it matters in terms of the shot selection. I think you've got to play towards the stone behind the corners. It'd be very difficult to make the hit on that yellow stone anyway. I think, though, it might be red based on how they're reacting. This may be the call anyway, whether yellow is 1-2 or just 1-3.
So they grab this right out of his hand. Now a little bit happier with the weight. It's walking over nicely. Can they get it underneath that corner? And sit shot rock. Yes, they can. Well thrown.
Yeah, they've sat right in front of it. I don't think there's a way you can remove it by just hitting it directly. You'd have to play this double. Either the double run or this long angle double.
Yeah, no way to dig it, so it's going to be the long crosshouse double. Potentially for the win. Good chance you push back your yellow while throwing this.
Yeah, pretty hard to stick the shooter. If you stick the shooter, it looks like you might make contact with the yellow stone, that second shot. I agree with you. And if you hit it cleanly out, you might have hit it a little bit too low or a little bit on the back side of that red stone, and the shooter might slide out the back. So pretty tough for the 3, but maybe it is there, but definitely a shot for 2.
So Jacob Libbus and his team from Edmonton. Final stone of the 8th. Needs a double for either 2 or 3 to stay in the game or win it. Catches it too thick, it's going to be a single point only, and it's a win for Team Japan. Hang that final score as 7-6, and they win this one in pool play at Swift Current. Jason, your thoughts of the keys of the game?
Well, a pretty evenly matched game through the first 6 ends, and then Team Yanagisawa, they had a really good setup in the 7th. Well, they got the force in the 6th to go to the 7th in a tie game. Got the deuce after setting that up really well. You know, Team Libbus, they had a chance. They had it set up pretty good in the 8th end, but a little bit of a mistake near the end. That hit and stick just, I think, rolled too far. Yanagisawa comes back with a nice freeze, and then a really tough shot for the 2 or the 3. That was a hard one at the end for the tie or the win. And so Team Yanagisawa, they escaped with the win, a very needed win in this group.
Absolutely. Our next streams will be at 2:30 in the East, 12:30 Mountain. And we thank you so much for watching. Arigato gozaimasu. For Jason Chang and Kaylee back in our studios in London, Ontario, I'm Dave Schmel. Thanks for watching Curling Stadium.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game. Live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Team Homan rocks. Team Moet rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare. Join us in Toronto at the